forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you, get 18% off. We out. All right, man, we back. Goodfella Sports TV. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Let's talk a little bit about the All-Star team. They announced the reserves in the West and the East, and they are what they are. It's a combination between the players, the fans voting, and the media, I believe it is. The reserves are voted by the coaches. So let's talk about who the biggest snub. But first, let's get into who didn't deserve to be on the All-Star team from both conferences. So, it's a good crop of guys. The NBA talent level is rising. You had a great draft. Last year was Zion, John Morant. The year before that, Luka, Trae Young. Year 2, both cracked the All-Star team. So I really don't have any issues with Trae and Luka making the All-Star team, contrary to what people believe about Trae Young. He balling, all right? That's what he doing, man. He balling hard. Luka Doncic balling hard. No Steph Curry, Klay Thompson this year. Obviously, Draymond Green ain't going to make it without them neither, as we see this year. But in the East, if I had to pick somebody that didn't deserve to be there, it would probably be Kyle Lowry, man. Chris Middleton, Kyle Lowry, for me, I'm just not impressed. And I'm not a big Jimmy Butler fan. I think Jimmy Butler is one of the most overrated players in the league, but he old school. But I think he deserved to be there. He helped Miami reach their potential. Imagine if Deion Waiters act right. Miami will probably be the number 1 seed in the East right now over Giannis. But I understand with Chris Middleton being there because the Milwaukee Bucks got to have 2 people representing because they got the best team in the league, and they really should have like 3. But the team ain't really that good. They're a good regular season team, and I'm not saying because Giannis not good, but I don't really view Chris Middleton as an all-star caliber type of guy. And Eric Bledsoe, after he got paid in the middle of last season, he failed to perform. But Sabonis, contrary to people believe, he been balling all year. Jason Tatum, I'll give him a nod. He pretty good. Bam, I definitely want to see Bam make it. He been hooping. But Kyle Lowry is the guy that I believe in the Eastern Conference that don't deserve to make it. I understand Toronto up there, and, he a solid player, but I don't think he deserved to make it, in my opinion, man. His numbers indicate that as well. But, Toronto hooping, it is what it is. And you look at the West, Nikola Jokic, he balling. Rudy Gobert, he deserved to be there. I don't feel like seeing him cry this year. Ingram, I think he deserved to be there. Damian, of course. Donovan Mitchell, I'm happy to see him there. Russell Westbrook, he can be there, but I just think he all stats. He not that he great player, deserved to be there, but I just think he more a stats guy than winning. But Chris Paul, I don't think he deserved to be there in my opinion. He a good player. I think he made it off reputation like Kyle Lowry did. So I don't think those two, Lowry and Chris Paul, the guards, deserve to be there. People probably point to Brandon Ingram, but Ingram been balling this year, man. Without him, the Pelicans probably wouldn't have 2 games to rub together. So for me, Kyle Lowry and Chris Paul, and not to say they're not good players, but my biggest snub from the Eastern Conference is Zach Lavine. Zach Lavine is averaging more points than like 5 or 6 All-Stars. On the East, people say, well, Chicago not winning. Well, Chicago ain't never won outside of Derrick Rose, Stan, and Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing new. You had 2 transcendent players in Derrick Rose and Michael Jordan. But outside of those 2, the Baby Bulls and the Bulls, whatever they was before Michael Jordan, they hadn't been a winning franchise. So that's not Zach Lavine's fault. But I've been seeing from Zach Lavine this year, he had a little lull in the year. But once he bounced back from that lull, whatever was going on, he was explosive. You know what I'm saying? He been really, really balling for Chicago. And I think he is the biggest Eastern Conference snub out there. I think he the second biggest snub out of all of them out there. He been balling. He been hooping. He been doing everything that you asked him to do. And Chicago, they in the race to make the playoffs too. In the East, it ain't that hard, but they there. And he hooping, man. And next thing he got to do is take his defense to another level and just keep being consistent. He averaging over 25 points a game. That ain't easy to do in this league. And Chicago got some really good players that haven't really stepped up and complimented him the way they should have. Lauri Markkanen, he been playing like a mark. You know what I'm saying? Thaddeus Young came over there, not really doing much. And, Chris Dunn, they don't give him a chance. Kobe White, he coming. Otto Porter, he been injured, but he massively overrated. But he been hooping. But also you got Bradley Beal out there. The Washington Wizards been, staying afloat, and he been hooping. But the problem with Bradley Beal is, in the bottom three, is they all been injured. Bradley Beal missed some time this year, and probably had Bradley Beal not missed that time, and maybe the Wizards won a few more games, then Bradley Beal would easily be an all-star. But with them not winning, that's how they look at Zach Lavine. Like, it don't matter. You just putting up points on a really, really bad team. But the difference between the Wizards and the Bulls is the Bulls are still, if my memory serves me correctly, they still in the playoff race, which the Wizards probably definitely not mathematically ineligible. But like I said before, Bradley Beal is a great player, and I think if they stop, if it was just about who's the best player, could Kyle Lowry go to the Wizards and carry the Wizards like Bradley Beal did? I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? But I think Zach Lavine and Bradley Beal is better than Kyle Lowry this season, not in Lifetime Achievement Award. Had Kyrie Irving not got injured, he could have been in the mix, and maybe somebody wouldn't have made it. So you looking at the Eastern Conference, people would probably say Sabonis is the weak link or Bam, but both of them big fellas been balling. Look at their numbers, double-doubles, playing defense, rebounding. Tatum, he had a solid year. He got to represent. I think Kemba starting, and Jason Tatum representing for his first All-Star game. Ben Simmons going to be there, obviously, because he can hoop. And Jimmy Butler is taking Miami to another level. So, I just think, I think Bradley Beal and Zach Lavine, player for player, is a better player than Chris Middleton and Kyle Lowry. I can easily replace them two. If you put Lavine on Milwaukee or Bradley Beal in Milwaukee, you replace Chris Middleton for one of them two, Milwaukee, they might not have lost a game, depending on if it fit the right way. Well, you playing with a Giannis, you playing with LeBron, it's different, though. But I don't think Chris Middleton would have had the impact on Washington or the Bulls, without Giannis. And that's my humble opinion on that. Some people may say, you a little ignorant on that, but I don't believe so. But Paul George didn't make it off the strength that he missed a lot of games. He got injured in the beginning. He was injured coming into the season, came back, put some good numbers up, while Kawhi was doing his load management, then got injured again. So, that's why Paul George ain't get on the team. But we all know Paul George is one of the 12 best players or 24 best players in the league. So, he's an all-star at heart. But, if he didn't get injured, he definitely been in there. But it'd have been real funny had Clay and Steph been healthy and the Golden State Warriors been doing what they do. And Paul George would have been healthy. There's some guys in there that may not have made it, like Russell Westbrook for sure. And the West is a different animal because the brother in San Antonio been having a good year, DeMar DeRozan. You know what I'm saying? It's been a little up and down, but he been having a solid year. Ja been having a solid year. But I definitely wouldn't get mad at Paul George, for not making it. So I'm not mad because he been injured. So I would say Chris Paul deserved a nod. Same thing for Karl-Anthony Towns. He was hooping. I had him as an early MVP candidate. If you follow the channel, he been hooping. You know what I'm saying? But then he got injured. He missed a lot of games. So people talking about Karl-Anthony Towns should be in over Brandon Ingram. He missed a shit ton of games, man. And, it would just go that way. But in the beginning of the season, he was an MVP candidate. And his play had elevated the team. And it had Andrew Wiggins showing a little bit of heart in my Steven Jackson voice. The 10-man had some heart. But when he wasn't healthy no more, the team went severely down the drain. But Karl-Anthony Towns, talent-wise, skill-wise, he probably one of the more skilled players in the NBA. He probably top 5. You put him in a vacuum skill-wise. Not saying that he one of the top 5 best players in the league, but he definitely got that potential in there. There ain't too much different between him and Anthony Davis. Anthony got upgraded to LA. And, he's stuck in Minnesota. And I think Anthony is a better defender than him, and obviously a little bit more athletic. But my biggest snub is Devin Booker from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I was mad that my Pistons didn't take him. Want to hear my Pistons talk? Check my other channel out, Motor City Sports Talk. But yeah, Devin Booker is probably the biggest snub outside of, second to Zach. First above Zach Lavine, but Devin Booker's the biggest snub. He definitely deserved to be in over for Chris Paul. Chris Paul got in over for a technicality of Lifetime Achievement Awards. He was the NBA Players Association president and all that. So, in my opinion, I think Devin Booker was the biggest snub. Put up great numbers, 27 points a game, some assists and rebounds, and he shot over 50% from the field, 37% from the three-point land. He was missing his boy DeAndre Ayton a lot of times a year. They dealt with a lot of injuries there. So that is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Were you different from where I'm thinking at? Or you think the same? Let me know in the comment section. Check out our NBA Talk playlist. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Hellblaze, at thehellblaze.com. Use the promo code GoodFellow1Box. Get 18% off the 100% all natural products. All that information is in the description. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email as well. All information in the description. Want to reach out to me, email and Twitter is the quickest way. Want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal, and link as well. Best way to donate is share the video. And once again, check out our NBA Talk playlist. Let me know how you feel in the comment section. One time for the one time. We go.